Hi everybody. I'm going to do a short video on a few tools that I use in my practice, which are very useful, and some that I make myself, and some that are made by a company called Autobock. Everybody knows Autobock. And so the first thing we can have a look over here. This is a little 50 tool, and that's a very useful tool to be able to get you know, a 50% or half of the socket in the coronal and in the sagittal plane. So that's a very nice little useful tool that I use quite a lot for my bench alignment. And then the second thing I wanted to show you guys was this interesting little thing that I found on the internet. It's a Lazy Susan. And the little Lazy Susan is 3D printed on my little 3D printer. I got a little Bamboo X 3D printer, and it's very useful. It prints a lot of useful little tools. But this is just the one I wanted to show. I'm not going to show you guys how to do bench alignment. You guys already know how to do that. But I'm just going to show you how useful the Lazy Susan is. So the first thing you can have a look over here, we've got the alignments. We've got the coronal alignment, and then we've got the sagittal alignment, and you can see how useful it is just to turn it in the same axis, so it stays on the same axis, but it is very useful. So if you've got a single a laser light, that you can just turn it and keep it in the same alignment. You can see this maybe look a bit strange, but this gentleman over here hasn't had a prosthesis for a year, and he's got quite a severe flexure contracture, so that's why it's a little bit out over here, but we're accommodating that in the alignment. Okay, so this is the Lazy Susan, and you can see it's got these little balls, and it kind of rolls in nicely, and yeah, so it's a very useful little tool. And okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to show you, was this Lazy Susan. And the second thing I wanted to show you was the you know, I don't know if some of you guys do know me, that I'm pretty obsessed about the Fibonacci sequence. And as you can see over here, just quickly, on how the body is divided up into the Fibonacci numbers. This is the 0.618 and the 0.382. And you can see how the body is divided up in that. And of course you'll find the Fibonacci sequence in all of nature, like in the you know, the egg, and you'll find it in a shell. You'll find it in the, you know, the row on how different plants and flowers are formed, and they're forming in this kind of Fibonacci sequence. Even the horn of you know, of a ram, and the spiral of a tail of a seahorse, and it's all kind of interconnected. And this is what I wanted to show you guys, is this Fibonacci that I'm utilizing with my prosthetics and with my alignments. Another quick thing is just that you know, I've got this Digisol gait analysis system. And very interestingly, in the stance and the swing phase, if you look between stance and swing phase, this is obviously in walking, you'll see that the split is very close to the Fibonacci sequence. So there, even in gait, you can also observe this Fibonacci sequence in gait as well. So it's basically throughout the body, the human body, the way we walk, the way we run. If we run, for instance, then this swaps around your swing. So then I found this over here. This is a Fibonacci caliper, and some of the students that you know, that I lectured many years ago will notice this, and we'll see some of them. Actually, I actually made some for some of them. And but yeah, this is a very nice little tool to use. As we know, with the Ossa feet, the Ossa feet have got your little divider, and it's got like a little bump on the inside of here on the foot. You can actually feel it there, and that is their specific you know, ratio to divide up the foot for the ground reaction force to run through the actual the foot, so that you can get the perfect alignment. But I just want to show you here. So that is the Ossa one, okay, where it's a little bump over there. And then obviously, you know, we have been taught that you can see over here, this is where the half of the foot is, okay, and then you would then minus 3 centimeters, and you get to this point here. All right, so I just want to quickly show you that using this Fibonacci caliper, you can also just quickly work out exactly where your vector would be, or your ground reaction force would run through. So that's quite an interesting one. It's very useful that that OSSA have got theirs. But what is interesting is that they've got this little discrepancy over here, compared to where you would normally measure these. So that's just a little interesting thing with the Fibonacci caliper. And there's a lot of feet that don't have this, so just to quickly work it out, you don't have to do a measurement and do your minus 3. You can just whip out your Fibonacci caliper and you can get the exact measurements. Okay, so that's quite an interesting thing. So just for interest's sake, if anybody is interested in getting one of these, I am prepared to print them for you, and but you can contact me via WhatsApp, or you can phone me as well. It's not a problem, or email me, and yeah, we can make one of these for you, including also obviously this Lazy Susan that we also make. So yeah, that's just a little compilation of the Fibonacci, and where I would use the Fibonacci, and this little Lazy Susan that is also very useful to use in prosthetics. Thank you guys. Cheers.